Last night, while I was editing, I have seen some really funny comments, and today I would like to share one such comment with you. So, the comment says, "Do you guys ever sleep? Lol, I've had to pass through your gate many times and at different hours, and you're always there. Lol, take a break." Now, how do I give a proper explanation to this? Do we sleep? Well, we actually do sleep. Although the place where we sleep is a little bit, let's say a little bit questionable because we do like to sleep on this gate. And you might think, am I joking? Well, I've fallen asleep on this gate many times. And this is why I have the sleeper skin on the Revelation, because well, there's a big chance that you might see this Revelation literally asleep on this very gate. It's something that I don't recommend anyone does. Don't sleep in nullsec at the gate, at the station. It's highly dangerous to do that, because if someone sees you sleeping at the gate, they will probably try to kill your ship. So yeah, don't do what I do. Don't sleep on low sec gates inside null sec systems. Okay, so I almost killed my friend there. I was testing out to see the new effects that we have received. I really like the new graphics. The game does look a little bit different, although I'm not really sure if you will notice a lot of difference on the video. Not really sure how to change the settings in order to make the changes apparent. Now, besides the change with the game, with the updates, there also has been a lot of, well, let's say, events happening in the game. A lot of big coalition wars that are still ongoing. Some alliances have dissolved out of the blue, which I kind of did see coming, although didn't really expect it to happen this early on. Did expect to see a lot of changes after the current coalition server war that's going on. So who knows what else will happen. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on what's going on. Now you might wonder, how has been the traffic over here? Well, the traffic is actually insane. Today you will notice a lot of ships being destroyed as usual, although there has been some really special ships coming through, and I would say in this video you will see some of the best kills that we ever made. And I would say that perhaps this might be the wildest revelation video that I did so far, although one of the previous ones was also pretty good because we had the encounter with the big capital ship killer fleet that unfortunately did not engage. However, I'm pretty sure that they will come back at one point. I'm pretty sure that they will come back because it's a, well, they will go after any capital ship that seems to be a very easy target. So perhaps they will try and they will perhaps attempt to destroy this revelation at one point, although currently they are quite busy, so I don't expect them to come anytime soon. So you might be wondering, why am I going to the station? Well, I'm going to go and probably fit a new general unit for the revelation. Probably going for extra tank, just in case. And well, with that being said, I think it will be time to go and let's blow up some ships. And today we will start with the special ship that I was talking about. This is a Nestor, one of the rarest ships that you will encounter in this game. And my initial reaction in the chat was quite hilarious. Now, when this pilot came in system, I jokingly said, well, what if this guy is a Nestor? And, well, to my shock, it was actually a bloody Nestor popping in. Now, how did I know that this pilot was a Nestor? I remember seeing screenshots. This pilot is a PvP pilot, if I can recall, and I've heard that this Nestor is actively being used in PvP, so I jokingly said that this might be a Nestor, and well, to our surprise, it actually is a Nestor. Now, based on the damage that I was doing on the armor, this Nestor was quite tanky, which means they probably used a pretty solid build, and well, there goes the Nestor. And you already expect a pretty juicy kill. After all, this is a faction battleship. 19.5 billion. Now, this is a pretty solid kill, and I would also like to say that this is also a pretty solid build. A passive tank Nestor in a fleet. This thing is really scary. Now, the Nestor that I did show you a while ago does use integration modules, which do improve the tank quite a bit. But even that build should be really tanky. Now, the next target today will be a Vindicator. By the looks of it, this Vindicator has the Ascension Nanocore, or the chip score that I like to call it the chip score, because on the Garmur, on the Spacepan, and on the Ortus, the Ascension core does look like a piece of chips. And speaking of chips, I'm getting a little bit hungry, although I'm recording at 1 AM and probably should not be eating at this late hour. Okay, let's take a look at the Vindicator kill. Should also be pretty solid. 4.3 billion. And oh no, oh god. Yeah, why? I have a lot of questions about the build on this thing. A very cursed build. Adaptive harness and an armor tank. Really? Oh man. Well, let's go to the next target. We have one Ashimu. The Ashimu is burning away from the bubble, and for some reason I didn't do much damage, and well, the siege mode was disabled. Now looks like the Ashimu is using a afterburner, although they were moving at a bad angle and I was able to hit the Ashimu without a problem. If the Ashimu was moving left or right or orbiting, then I would probably miss. 2.9 billion Ashimu. This Ashimu was used for exploration, very interesting choice. And they had a tier 4 rig. I was wondering why the ship was so expensive, and it's because of the tier 4 rig. I haven't seen a Ashimu being used for exploration. This is definitely a first for me. Usually all the Ashimu that I see are built for PvP. Next target, we have an Apocalypse Striker, and that was a very satisfying 55,000 hit. Left the Apocalypse Striker in about 30-35% armor. Second hit grazed the armor, so that means I am not going to do much damage. And the third hit, 23,000. Now here I will stop shooting and I will give the kill to my friend, because he has to complete the Conquer missions, and I already completed that, so I will enjoy the fireworks. And in the case that the Apocalypse does wake up, I will shoot, but I trust my corp mates. They're all really good pilots, and I'm pretty sure that they would also like to get some kills, and I'm more than happy to give some kills. A 2.2 kill Apocalypse Striker, solid loot drop. Quad webs, yeah, this is a pretty scary Apocalypse. Quad webs will slow you down, and quad webs will make those beam ladders hit. Next target, we have one rattlesnake. 27,000 hits on the rattlesnake, and the ship is now into hull. We have 2 dreadnoughts and a bunch of other very nasty battleships that are also really scary. Do not want to fight Blood Raider ships, they are still terrifying ships to fight. 4.9 billion rattlesnake looks okay. A DPS build, okay. We did not get the Predator web or the... Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling that this rattlesnake might be very cursed because of that one explosive pump rig. Well, then let's check out the build in more detail. Oh no. Yep. Anti-explosive pump, a loading bay, and a shield rig. Why is that the case? I have no idea. Next we have one mammoth. Let me quickly send my tackle out to get the mammoth. There is also one more ship in local that is taking a while to land, so we might have a battleship coming in. We will find that out very soon. Okay, the mammoth did try to warp out, and we have one Tempest coming in. Okay. Mammoth destroyed. The tackle alt already in position, which is perfect. It means that I don't have to travel much with the tackle alt. Let's lock on with the revelation. Let's web and point with the stabber. Okay, there is the Tempest. 38,000. The Tempest did take this first hit quite well. They are now in armor. And the second hit, 56,000, and the Tempest is destroyed. Okay, that was lucky. This is what I said when I was talking about the traffic being really good. Famous last words. One day it will be famous last words, but the traffic was really good. I really can't complain. And there's a lot of ships, a lot of players still coming, and I have to clear the field here to make the local empty. Okay, let me just show you the kill on the Tempest. 612 million, a passive tank Tempest. Okay, I like the passive shield tank ships. They're really, I would say, they feel interesting. I like to use a passive shield tank. Nowadays on the Macarial I use the passive shield tank with really high resistances, although not 100% full tank because the Macarial is built for DPS, but I could technically make a full tank Macarial for fun. Next we have a Raven. First hit 46,000, and the Raven is into armor. They're trying to turn their ship around, but that's not going to work. And I also gave the kill to my corp mates. I stopped using the lasers when the first hit landed because I want all of my corp mates to finish the Concord pass, and I'm more than happy to help. Okay, well, looks like a DPS Raven. Although I would change the build a little bit. However, it mostly looks okay. Was a pretty solid kill. Next we have one Cinnabel. Cinnabel is still going towards the gate. They have been tackled, and well, that was quick. I expected the Cinnabel to last couple more seconds, but that did not happen, unfortunately. Now you might be wondering, where is my drone on the stubber? Well, I fought one Caracal Navy that did not like that drone, so yeah, the drone is unfortunately in 1,000 pieces scattered around this gate. Not really sure why players go after my drones every time. One thing that I like about capital ships, they don't have drones, so players can't kill my drones. I lost more in drones than in ships, which is very hilarious. Now next time we have one Asteron. Now like I said before, always hurts my soul to shoot at this cute little ship, but this cute little ship can also be very expensive, so unfortunately I have to shoot them down if I see them. And this Astro did drop some nice scanners, which makes me curious about their build. I expected analyzers, but I got scanners, which is interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the kill. 769 million, and not really sure what kind of build this is, why this Astro had missing modules and why they had dual scanners, but yeah, wasn't that bad. It was a solid catch. After all, it's still a expensive Astro. Always nice to catch the Sister of Eve ships. Next we have another Tempest that warped in, and this Tempest did stop right at the edge of the bubble, which is a little bit weird. And they locked on my tackle alt, which means... oh, okay. Well, I guess the Tempest got yeeted in one big alpha hit. Okay, well, that was unexpected. I expected to shoot at the Tempest a couple more times, but okay. I'm not complaining, and I got some modules. Let me dock the loot just in case, because the cargo on the alt is getting charged up. 849 million. This was a PvP build. Interesting. Although it did go down in one hit, this Tempest did not have a lot of hit points for some reason. Not really sure why. Perhaps the skills, or perhaps the adaptives were not enabled. Next we have one succubus, and my apologies if the alt is a little bit laggy here. The phone after the new update is a little bit, let's say, a little bit warm, and sometimes, well, this happens when I play for a extended period of time, which can be up to 10 hours or even more than that, depends on the day. Well, looks like the revelation is not going to hit, which is okay. I guess my alt will get a very nice succubus kill. You know, something also quite hilarious that's been happening. My alt did steal so many of my own kills that I'm pissed at my own alt. I think I stole a rattlesnake from myself with the alt on literally 1% hull, because I did shoot at the rattlesnake. For some reason I just clicked on the alt on the autocannons and, well, stole the kill from the revelation, and plenty more kills like that. So yeah, that stabber is a hero. That stabber tackles and that stabber kills. 374 million succubus kill, which is, you know, pretty solid. Sunshot debris. I mean, I killed this ship with a 20 million stabber, so I'm not going to complain at all. Overall, a very nice catch. Next we have a RB3 covertops. Now the tier 10 covertops cruisers are really really good. I like them. I played around with the RB3 a little bit, and this little ship can be quite lethal. Now you might be wondering, why isn't the screen moving? Well, I'm currently busy with the alt trying to tackle and to web. Now the RB is webbed and scrambled. There's a lot of target painters going on, and still I missed with the revelation. So sometimes the revelation hits, sometimes the revelation can be a little bit stubborn, and sometimes, as you can see, the revelation does not want to hit, no matter what you do. 1 billion RB3 kill, which is really solid value, and overall a very nice kill. Next we have another succubus. The succubus is still one of the best PvP frigates in the game. I actually used to fly one in the early days of the game. I still like the ship, and I might return to the succubus when I guess when I get bored from the cruisers, if that ever happens, but I still do want to fly a lot of different ships. And currently I'm also trying to save up some ISK, which in my case is a little bit difficult because I'm the pilot who likes to buy integration rigs, so there goes most of my ISK. Okay, the succubus has been destroyed, and let me see if I can find the kill to show you the kill value, if the kill is posted in the chat. If not, well, then we will just move on to the next target. Oh, there is the succubus. Well, almost a billion ISK succubus, which is really nice. And the succubus dropped all the C-type lasers. Overall, a pretty solid kill. Next we have a prophecy command. Always like to shoot at prophecies, not really sure why. I guess because I don't know, there is just something satisfying about popping these things, and that was a very nice alpha hit. Okay, let's take a look at some of the kills that I made. That unfortunately I did not record all of them. So this is the prophecy commands. Overall, as you can see, solid kill, and I would say a decent build. Now this is something that I didn't record because I don't know, I thought it would be just your average Narrows, but it dropped C-type capital modules that I really need. I really needed the C-type capital armor repairs, and I got them for free, and now the relation has received a very nice upgrade on the tank. Next we have a Ishtar or Vexor 2, both names are actually pretty good. I prefer to call it the Ishtar, but to prevent any major confusion, let's just use Vexor 2 for now. And this ship has the Comet core, and once webbed and scrambled, the relation did hit and the Vexor got destroyed. Okay, let's quickly loot and return the alt to the main ship. I like to call my alt account a extra large drone, because that's basically what the ship is, a big drone of the revelation with a bunch of webs and a scrambler. 952 million, overall a solid build, a kite Vexor. These things are very nice ships, and with the right pilots, very lethal, and I know a lot of very nice drone mode pilots. Next target we have another succubus. This succubus is heading towards the gate, so that means I should have a easier time to track the ship with the revelation. Let's see if my theory is correct. Well, it was correct, and the succubus got yeeted. Positioning is really important for capital ships. After all, they're huge, they're slow, and you want to be in a position where you know that you can hit a incoming ship. And in the case of the Revelation, I have this one very nice spot that I like to use. Basically, I would say the perfect spot for a big capital ship. Let's take a look at the kill. 190 million, very nice. Almost a 1 billion succubus. And well, the loot is okay. I'm not going to complain about the loot. After all of the loot will mostly go to the bubble pallet, because the bubble pallet deserves to have all disc and all the loot. I usually keep like 10% of the loot, or even less, because I like to see my corp happy. If the corp is happy, then I'm happy as well. Next we have a Nereus 2, and I smell bling. Let's see if my nose is correct. Hopefully we got some juicy loot from this Nereus. Fingers crossed. And the Nereus has been destroyed. Didn't use the ult because there was no reason for that. Let's take a look. 1.3 billion. Oh well. Still a pretty solid Nereus. We got some Dreadnought debris, capital components, some other capital components. Well, at least this ship was loaded. Oh, and we got 2 Sinophiles. That can be useful. Well, this Nereus definitely had a lot of stuff inside, although the previous Nereus had much better loot. Much better loot. Capital C-type stuff, to be more accurate. Next we have one Drake. Let me send the hero tackle out. Okay, alt is now on the Drake, webbed and scrambled. Now I'll actually give credit to this Drake. They survived a bunch of hits from the Revelation, which means they have pretty solid skills for battlecruisers. Although the Revelation still has crazy alpha, so not a big issue to destroy smaller ships. 356 million, a very decent loot drop. Now the one thing that doesn't miss on this Drake is a large booster. A Drake with a large booster is really fun. Took me like 56 minutes to kill one in a 1v1 with the Stabber 2. Was one of the funniest and one of the most fun encounters that I've had in this game. Okay, next we have a Cyclone. Let me go and tackle the Cyclone with the Stabber, because I'm not doing much damage with the Revelation, although the Cyclone is already in low armor. Webbed and scrambled. And the Cyclone is destroyed. Nice. I'm thinking about upgrading the Stabber into a Ashimu tackle with quad webs. Should be much easier to maintain because the Ashimu has like 29.6 kilometer range with the webs, and the extra range might be helping with faster tackling, with more efficient work. I think that's a pretty solid idea, although the speed will be a little bit lower because you know the Ashimu is a little bit slow. Next we have a Drake. Drake is taking some heavy misses from our ships. That means I have to send the ult to catch the target, or perhaps not. And the Drake seems to be rotating the ship, and not really sure where are they headed to. They're trying to go to the station. Oh, okay. Well webbed and scrambled, and the Drake is destroyed. Now I could go and swap some of the modules to get more tracking on the Revelation, but that would sacrifice tank, and I honestly don't feel like sacrificing tank on this ship, although for a lot of players that fly capital ships, the tank that I have is overkill. However, I know that I will have a big capital ship fleet coming at one point. It's better to have a overkill tank and survive than having a good tank and basically lose the ship to a really good capital fleet. This way I can be quite safe if that happens. And at this moment it's not if it happens, it's basically when it happens, because well, they already came once and they will come again for sure. Now this deck made a very big mistake. They did a good job to avoid damage by moving straight forward. However, they are now moving towards the gate, and well, as you could see, the tracking did pick up when the ship started to move towards my ship at a 90-degree angle. So, if you want to survive against a revelation on a gate camp, the worst thing that you can do is fly towards it, because then you will get heated. The best thing that you can do is move away from it in a way that you're not having a 90-degree angle on the ship. Basically, having a high transversal velocity. That way, the tracking on the capital ship will not keep up with your ship. And in order to do that, you don't have to go super fast. Literally 300 meters per second is enough to troll a gate camping dreadnought, because that's the tracking of these ships. It's really not that good. And most dreadnoughts will have a tank on them, so your chance to survive the encounter is actually pretty high if you know how to avoid taking hits from these monsters. Now this was a quite expensive cyclone, 505 million, and this is why I like to shoot down battlecruisers. They can drop some really good stuff, and this one was pretty solid. Well, unfortunately, it could be better if the mission did drop, but you know, I'm not complaining. I'm happy that I get any loot, so was a pretty solid ship. Next we have a Blackbird 2 cover tops. Now, you know what I think when I see a cover tops? I think Sino, so have to make sure that this thing gets destroyed as quickly as possible, and have to make sure that the cover tops is not standing still, because if the cover tops is standing still, you can expect a Sino to open. However, this Blackbird seems to be a PvP build, so they probably did not have any Sino. However, let's wait for the kill. Okay, kill has been posted, let's take a look. 342 million, a really solid kill, and a decent build. The build is cheap, although they used faction drones, and faction drones, well, they are the opposite of being cheap. They're actually quite expensive. Next we have a prophecy. The prophecy has been destroyed. I tell you, I really like to shoot prophecies down. I'm not really sure why. There is something about, I don't know, I like to shoot down drone boats. And this one was also quite pricey, 494 million. Imperial Navy drone dropped, and they also had some general units, and I think they also had some implants that unfortunately got destroyed. Next we have a Ferox, and as you can see, the Ferox is gliding towards the gate, to the other gate, not towards the low sack gate, and well, my revelation missed. This is why for incoming ships I have to use the tackle in order to hold them down for the revelation to be able to track. And now the revelation tracks and the revelation eats. and the Ferox got yeeted in the third hit. Also, one advice that I can give to capital ship pilots that like to do what I do: don't have all the turrets grouped into one group. Use the turrets separated, because that way, if one of your turrets miss, the other two will hit. That way you will do more damage. I use them combined because I use them grouped because, well, there's not enough modules and I don't like to swap between pages. But having them grouped is not really the best thing that you can do. The best thing would be to have them separated. That way you can actually nail more critical hits, and if one turret misses, the other two have a higher chance to actually hit the target. Next we have a Harby. Well, the Harby got yeeted. This time I did not use the alt because there was no need for it. 332 million. And the ship did miss some modules for some reason. Why are there so many ships with missing modules? I don't understand that. Next we have a humpback high mobility. This ship does count as a battleship, by the way, so could potentially be quite pricey. We will find out very soon. Now for some ships I like to use the tackle because I just don't want to risk them warping out. And the humpback has been destroyed. Okay, that was a very nice explosion as well. Let me take a look at the loot. Well, I got some cannons and some inertia stabilizers, although my cargo hold is full. So that means I have to go and unload. Or not. It did fit. Okay. Did not expect it to fit. 283 million. A PvP high mobility humpback. Okay, I guess that might work. I don't know, haven't tried that ship yet. Next we have one Hurricane Logistics. Let's quickly see if I can pop this battlecruiser. And it didn't pop. Okay. Well, let's send the alt just in case. And well, the second hit did destroy the Hurricane. Okay. And I did some Concord missions as well. I wish that... Actually, never mind. I'm more than happy with the current missions that I got on the Concord Pass. Okay, time to dock the alt because the cargo hold is full, although there's a lot of traffic around, so might actually wait to see what else warps in before I go and dock the alt. 390 million. This ship was headed north to the war zone, I guess, but I guess they'll be 12 hours late to the party, which is okay. It happens. I'm pretty sure they have backup ships. So we have 4 pods, and well, all of them did go where they had to go. Did not destroy any of them. Now this was a tier 9 battlecruiser that almost escaped. They did warp to the bubble and quickly turned around, but my co-op drive plus lasers don't really equal to a happy end for the battlecruiser. They did use the micro drive, a large micro drive. The signature radius on this ship was huge, so that really did not help at evading the capital lasers from the Revelation. Next we have another Drake. alt is going to be on the way to web, or never mind, the target is webbed by my friends. And the Drake is destroyed. Okay, nice. Let's take a look at the kill. 356 million, a decent loot drop. Next we have an Oracle. Oracle destroyed. I kind of stole the kill there, which happens. Let's take a look at the kill. 473 million, and this was advanced insurance fraud. Well, interesting. No build on that Oracle. Next we have another Harby. First hit missed, which means let me grab the phone and let me send the hero tackle out. That stabber tackled like, I don't know, like 1,000 ships by now. That's truly a hero tackle. And so far it did not die yet, although I really expect that stabber to die at one point, because that's the purpose for that ship. Very cheap to replace, and it costs so much damage. My alt is more east positive than I'll ever be, to be honest. I lost some ships, but my alt hasn't lost anything yet. So 100% efficiency on my alt. My alt better than my main account. Very hilarious. 297 million. A PvP Harby. Okay, interesting. Let's go to the next target. We have another Drake. This pilot came back in a second Drake. This time they have armor damage for some reason. Well, that means probably going to be one hit from the revelation, and yes, one hit, 28,000. That was pretty satisfying to watch. Just like that Gila that came with low hull for some reason. I was very confused. That was one of the weirdest kills that I've ever had. And well, a solid build, although I would still use a large booster for the Drake, because it has enough power grid and a pretty good capacitor. Next we have one more Harby that is coming towards the ship. Very nice angle and a very nice hit. Death Star revelation. Will be hilarious when Titans get released. That's going to be the real Death Star. 318 million. Oh no. A shield tank. One of the best armor tank battlecruisers has a shield tank. Oh no. And we have one Imicus that was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, hopefully this Imicus has something inside. Would be funny if this Imicus dropped like 10 billion or something. I know we destroyed one Heron covertops with capital rigs for carriers, was 4.6 billion, and of course I did not record that one because I never record literally the best kills, which is just bad luck on my end, but it's okay. And the Imicus has been destroyed, and based on what I see, the Imicus was empty, so no 10 billion from the Imicus, at least not today. And next we have another Bella Cruiser. Let's quickly yeet this ship before they decide to turn around, although now it's too late even if they turn around because they're locked on, and the Bella Cruiser got yeeted. 28,000. Very solid kill. A very solid hit. let's take a look at the kill. If I don't forget to actually show the kill, because sometimes I do. 357 million, a sniper. Overall, a okay build. Looks pretty nice. It does miss some rigs, but I guess it's okay. Alright, well, that was a very nice run with the Revelation. I would say one of the better runs that we had. Mostly because of the Nestor that we caught. I would say that was one of the luckiest catches that we've ever had in this system and overall in this game. Always nice when you end up catching one of the Mordu or Sister of Eve battleships. The Barghest is actually a lot more common because the Barghest is actually actively being used into PvP, into missions, although still quite expensive. However, the Nestor, that one is actually pretty rare. I don't see a lot of them around. I know I had one, flew one a little bit, but didn't really feel like I wanted to play around with that thing for a very long time because it was just so expensive at the time, and still is like 20 billion. So they're very expensive ships, very fun to fly, and I think it's time for me to actually go and show you how the Nestor works after the update. So that's probably going to be one of the next videos that you can expect. But with that being said, hope that you enjoyed this little sleepy Revelation run today. And with that being said, with any luck, you might get to see a Revelation sleeping on this gate here, which happens really often, way too often to be comfortable talking about it. But I like to joke about that because it's actually hilarious. So, with that being said, hope that you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.